Nugget, my baby. Mwah. This is Nugget. Dr. Chang called him a avoidant. He did not cuddle with me for the first 2 years of life, I think. You try to like hold him or like pick him up or give him a kiss, he'll like run away. I'm Dr. Jason Wu and I'm a doctor of modern animal, West Hollywood. I was born in Canada, but very early on I moved to Hong Kong and I lived there for about 10 years. And then I moved back to Canada, and then it was like around 6 months ago that I came down here to LA. So there's always been a few times in my life where there's been pretty big transitions. And what that really helped me learn, I think, was to learn how to find a new community again whenever there was like a big change in my life. But from every place I like take some new things with me. But I remember when I first came down here and I met with Dr. Chang. His background, he was from Melbourne, so he also like did this move of like coming from a completely different country and having very little connections here initially. So he was really there, very supportive of me, and like would invite me out to like get drinks or like hang out with his friends. And then I found that community with other doctors and other staff at this location as well. What I really liked coming here was that there was a very regimented onboarding program. So it initially started with just me shadowing a few doctors, like going into the rooms with them and hang out. And then we would talk about cases afterwards and just kind of seeing what the day is like and seeing what their take is on different cases. So it was good to see how different doctors would respond to different cases, because there's no one way to treat a case. And then eventually it shifted into me taking my own appointments as well, and then the doctors would be in their room with me, so we kind of like switched our roles. That was super helpful because I think as a new grad, at least for me, like I had like a million things going on in my head, and then I found that I wasn't necessarily giving like a good experience from like a customer service standpoint of like organizing my thoughts and making sure this information is digestible and like prioritizing like what do I need to say that's most important and that's gonna help the person understand me. And the feedback from a doctor being in the room is so important, because there are things that I was doing in terms of how I was communicating that I had no idea that I was even doing, which I know is not like an experience that a lot of other new grads have. And this is what was important to me when I was looking at different places and trying to talk about what an onboarding process was gonna look like. The important thing for me was I need someone there who can like answer my questions, even if it's like a dumb question, even if it's a question where I kind of know the answer to, but I just need someone to kind of hold my hand and be like, yes, this is correct, like you can do this. And that certainly is part of the mentorship here. The mentorship also had like an emotional support component to it as well. Like Dr. Chang would check in on me very regularly, especially towards the beginning, about just how I was feeling about the day. And that's partially why I really wanted to be at Modern Animal, was I knew there was gonna be like a lot of support here that just didn't really exist at most other places. So like one of the big things I think about is like whenever I see something that's like a hiccup in something, like there's something going wrong, you can like make a note of it and then someone will actually go fix it, which is like something that's like unheard of to me in like any previous place that I would like volunteered at or worked at. It was like, we just don't see that level of responsiveness. In veterinary medicine, things happen. Something complicated walks in that you thought was gonna be easy, someone escalates, and it just kind of spirals, snowballs into like a kind of rough day. What I found that was unique to my experience here was we actually debriefed those bad experiences, really breaking it down and figuring out, what things were within our control, what things can we do in the future to help mitigate these things and minimize these things from happening. And that I found like to be something that's unique to here. Come, Nugget, my baby. Mwah. This is Nugget. I named him Nugget because I have like an unhealthy obsession with chicken nuggets. When I did my undergrad graduate photos, I brought in a box of chicken nuggets. That was like my prop for the photos. just love a chicken nugget. My favorite movie of all time is actually Shrek 2. I think Shrek 2 is the perfect sequel ever made, in a sense that it's like a perfect continuation of the story, perfect exploration of some of the themes that were touched on in Shrek 1, and it gave us Puss in Boots, iconic character, and it has that scene where the fairy godmother sings Holding Out for a Hero. Perfect music montage, 10 out of 10.